G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Sorry I haven't put up any videos for a couple of days, something like 5 days. A couple of reasons for that. On the one hand, I dropped my camera phone and it put a crack across the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and that means that for about 30 seconds when I start making a video, I can actually see maybe half a screen, and then the brightness cuts down to buggery. So at the moment I can barely see where this thing is framed. But that is a screen fault. It's not a problem with the camera lens, so to speak. So anyway, that out there, that's what the landscape kind of looks like. And I've been fairly busy transforming it to look more like it does here. I don't know whether you can notice the difference, but whereas out there the flax lilies are standing up waist high with dead brown dry leaves on the ends of their blades, and then each flax lily contains a matrix of dried gum leaves. So it kind of stacks the bushfire fuel up, well, not quite knee high, but you know, it greatly increases the aeration of the fuel burden. And it sort of means that it doesn't really matter that the base of the leaves on the flax lily are green and alive, because they carry enough fuel, enough energy in the dried gum leaves that are wedged around the green flax lily leaves that, yeah, it just becomes a kind of a Roman candle on the forest floor. So rather than have the country right up close to me hut looking like that, I've been getting around every day transforming it to try and make it look like this instead, where all the dry flax lily leaves are laying down and the gum leaves that were interleaved with them have fallen out and been disturbed and chopped up. And if it is burning, rather than being anchored at the base and standing there and having some leaves getting wet by the water and some other leaves being kept dry behind it, this can now get picked up and turned over by the water stream. So in the meantime, what it's doing is functioning as mulch. It's shading the rocks, it's keeping the ground temperature down. It's kind of forcing the plants, if they want to do any photosynthesis, they're going to have to stick up fresh green shoots. But it means that if there is a fire, the intensity of the fire on top of the plant's roots is going to be greatly reduced, so the plant's got a better chance of surviving. So I'm kind of hoping that the landscape won't be too pissed off with me for doing this. But the theory is, having cut down the flax lilies out to the extremity of where my fire hoses can squirt, I should have something of a better chance of keeping the fire off the hut, the aeroplane trailer and the machinery shed, the power storage and the water storage. And of course that means that I've begun this procedure by going around all of the buildings and slashing there and then picking it all up and taking it away. So around here, all the flax lilies which used to be around here have all been cut down. and picked up some of them having been cut by hand to minimise the risk of digging a hole in the plastic water tanks. Other places I took the risk and I used powered equipment to just cut down and remove a lot of the fuel. Other big areas, the Flax-Lilly is still on the ground. As I said, it's functioning as compost, mulch, and like I said, if it catches fire, I can knock it over with a fire hose. And when I haven't been cutting down flax lilies, I've been using the wheelbarrow to move the cut down flax lilies, and in this case, mat rush, and put it all in a heap on the other side of the box tree's root ball. Normally I would telephoto zoom in on the prospector going for a hop there, but at the moment I couldn't guarantee to frame anything really, other than very vaguely, so I'm leaving the camera on standard. So here is my Flax-Lilly midden. Ain't it a big one? But I figure it's better having that here rather than over there, because I don't want over there to look like what it does around here. And out here I suppose I could fit 3 hoses end to end, and I could get out here and try and squirt on this stuff, but I'm probably better off staying back there close to what I want to defend. And I suspect that I just got the zoom control wrong for that last shot, so you will have got a close-up of my lips and face, if you're lucky. But yeah, this stuff out here, I haven't done anything to. Here are some uncut flax lilies, whereas pretty much everything from here on in close to the hut and out to the fence has been TBC 500'd, Tanaka brush cutter 500. And yes, of course, it is still a bushfire fuel bomb fire trap, but it's slightly more defensible. Hello. Are you okay? I will back off slightly. Hoping that I'm framing that moderately well. yeah, so I've done probably 3/4 of the approaches. And on the inside edge, I've picked up all the cut flax and carted it off. I thought seriously about cutting this off. However, if you do that, what you wind up with is a very hard, very sharp, very pointy end to it. And I think it's better off having a flexible, soft end, which is unlikely to spike a hose, rather than convert all of this into a potential hole in your hose. And I am giving some serious thought to the idea of going out there and cutting down my neighbour's flax lilies, because these ones here would be better off not being there, in my opinion. I've watered them, made them nice and succulent. I should probably now go over and cut them down and use them for mulch, but not before I do the quadrant from the front gate, where actually there's something of a temptation to leave this pair of flax lilies there, and to a lesser degree this one here. Well, this one's got lots and lots of dead dry leaves and stalks in the middle of it. Those ones are 2/3, 3/4 green. However, these mat rush, I think they're starting to get to be a fire hazard. And this flax lily, it definitely is getting to be a fire hazard. So I've got to finish doing my country. This was all whippersnipped with a string. And here's more of this conundrum of, do you leave that a hose can be dragged over, or do you cut it off and turn it into something that might spike the hose? That's a pain in the arse of a fire hazard having it there, but it's better there than over there. And that's where it used to be. That needs to be completely cut off, flat and removed. Use about 300 litres of water a week. So that's gone down 600 litres since last time the truck showed up. Oh, I went from Friday to Monday, or was it? No, Wednesday, with 3 fire hoses laid out before the wind dropped enough for me to figure that it was probably okay to flake the nylon reel hose in its figure 8 and roll up the Trinesium fire hose 03 metre 1 Hickney nylon canvas hoses and put them in their boxes. And so, for me, I guess it's a case of back to the salt mines. And that is how that works. Here's another little piece of garnishing. I've parked the car where it is not only set up pointing downhill towards the gate to get away fast if you have to, but it shields the buoy wall plastic tanks from radiant heat, as will the building insulation. Already in place to be wrapped around all 3 tanks. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.